even protein and food. This is part two. Eric here. Eric. Yeah. So I said that you should offer up the best stuff to your um, children and woman, but uh, I don't. I mean that like in a like not in a loose way. There, you have to be selfish as a man. Like you have to be very very selfish. Like you have to put work. You have to put your own well-being ahead of everything else, because if you do not like even training, like that's me. Like uh, I myself plan on like if I ever like have a family or whatever, I'm going to put my health and my just my health and my well-being above everything, because if I'm not well, if I'm not grounded, then chances are my home life will be really bad, because if I'm not grounded, if I'm not healthy, if I'm fat and I'm lazy and I'm sitting on the couch, my woman will be very angry with me, and she won't get fucked, and like you know what I mean, like, and she won't enjoy life, and then that just leads to the degradation of the whole household. And like I'm not trying to be uh like an elitist male, like, but that's just the fact of the matter. That's how it works. And not in all cases, but I mean both parties have to be like on point. But the male does like dictate a lot, because if if a man brings healthy energy to the household, like if he's fit, if he's physically fit, if he's able to play with his children, if he's able to do all those things and like provide for his woman and fuck her brains out, and then do all these things, then the household will remain intact. That makes sense? Like it's not only your job to provide; it's your job to provide and be a good lead role. Like play it well. Even like I'm not even saying that like the guy has to throw it. It's obviously shared. Like personally, I'm of the belief that the that males are big picture guys. Like I mean, we're big picture. I think we are. And like we can be detail oriented, but still, we don't give a fuck unless it's a big picture. Like that's the end goal in sight, right? And females are a little bit more detail oriented, especially when it comes to like smaller stuff. Like a man will say, "Oh, I want a big ass lot," but a female will say, "I want a big house with big rooms and big closets and nice bathrooms." Like, pardon the shitty expression, but like and that's to be expected. I mean, I totally understand it, because uh, as males, we even if we're introverted and feminine, we're still like I consider myself pretty introverted and not overly feminine, but I do have some feminine characteristics. Like I'm pretty tender at times, and like it's not about being like manly or like feminine, but like what I mean. Uh, but like we're extending, like we're penises, like and females are vaginas, I guess. Even some females think they're dicks, but they're actually vaginas, because like they when a woman invites you into her home, she's essentially inviting you into herself. Like what I mean? Like that's why it's so important for a female to have such a clean house, and like a very like a made up bed. Like a bed has to be good. The covers have to look nice. Like the walls have to be like a nice color, and they have to match the fucking drapes and like all that fucking like crazy shit. Like all that shit. Like you know. Like all of it has to work and match up and look nice and clean, and that's just how. That's just the nature of things, because we're going into there, and like that's like a woman. It's metaphorical, I guess. It's a metaphor in a sense, but it is like you're entering the woman's vagina when you go into her home, and that's why that's why you should always take care. That's why women like to keep it clean so much. Like I mean, I'm all for having a clean house and all, but I'm not gonna do all that fancy shit. And I don't know. That's just how it is. It's a fact of the matter. And I mean, that's my take on it. And of course, I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere else. I think it was in an article. Of course, that wasn't the base opinion of the article, but like, that's the important thing about this. Like, even if whoever's watching this, like, don't take my word as law. Like, none of this shit is true. Like, everything I'm telling you is a lie. but it's a lie that I believe. Does that make sense to you? Like, and everything that you say is also a lie, but it's a lie that you believe. They're all lies. They're all lies that we believe. And if we believe it, it becomes truth. And does that make sense? Like, everything is a lie. 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's a lie too, but we're led to believe that it equals 4, so we decide to stick with it. And like, even if it's a lie, nobody's told us a better lie. The Earth was flat used to be a lie, but then somebody else came up with a better idea that the Earth was actually round and that the sun was the center of the solar system, and nobody else has seemed to top that lie yet, so we stick with it. And that's all this is. Like, I say lie, but I don't really mean it's a lie. It just means there's false facts out there that we take as real. And I don't know what the hell this motherfucker is doing. But yeah, so anyway, like, I intend to, I make this shit to, like, I don't make this shit to inform people so much as to think and form their own opinions. Like, I would it seems like a cool idea, like, oh, everybody should believe me and everything I say is true, and like, but then that's not science, and like, that's not fun to me. And personally, to me, I would much rather have people questioning my beliefs and motives than people just taking, blind faith. Like, I think blind faith is the worst kind of faith. Blind anything is bad. Well, not necessarily. Like calculated blind rushes are good, but I don't know. I hope I'm getting a point across. Like, I'm just rambling now, but either way, like, everything we've ever been told is actually just it's not. Sometimes people don't even fucking believe it themselves. They'll just say it because they want something nice to say, or they want something interesting to say, and they want people to look at them and say, oh yeah, this person's so smart. Like, does that make sense? Like, people will share facts that they think will get them accredited. And I don't know, I just don't see the point in this. But I know no one's gonna give a fuck about a couple of things that I'm talking about, but anyways, that's not the point. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm pretty tuckered out now. That's the one thing I find, like, if you bring high energy, like, you can't maintain high energy for a long time. If eventually you will, like, taper down a bit and you won't have anything left to say because you've exhausted all your resources, but that's not always the case. Anyways, yeah, so take home messages, form your own opinions, and treat everybody, well, not treat everybody the same, but treat everybody with the same respect. Not even that, just treat everybody admirably. But don't discriminate, especially not when people come to your home. Like, if you invite somebody over and they're making a mess, yeah, tell them to fucking leave and tell them they can't have any more drink. But like, initially, if somebody comes to your home, treat them like royalty. Like, I'm of the belief that if somebody comes over to my house, or like I'm at a close friend's house or something, and there's not enough couch space, I'll just stand. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I actually prefer standing anyways, so I'll give the couch space to somebody else. Like, I'll offer it up as a token of, I don't know, gratitude, I guess, I don't know, respect? I don't know what the word for it is, but yeah, so I once heard a man tell, like, if somebody comes to your house, you should be sitting, they should be able to sit, and you should be able to stand. Like, you should offer up yours so they can get theirs, because you live there and they're the guest. Anyways, I'll touch on this later, but peace.